Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Jay Encarnacion, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are thrilled to have Roselin Rosario-Meléndez, the founder of RRM Inventive Solutions Hub. Roselin brings a remarkable blend of expertise in polymer chemistry with 37 global patent applications from her time at L'Oreal and a passion for helping startups innovate in pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, and medical devices. Based in New York, RRM Inventive Solutions Hub, founded in 2025, is empowering small businesses to overcome technical barriers and achieve commercial success. We'll be exploring her journey from Puerto Rico to founding her consulting firm, how her business drives innovation, and her vision for scaling this impact-driven venture. So with that being said, let's dive right in. Roselin, welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for such a great introduction. I think I could not have done it even any better.
You have an amazing background, so a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show today. And thank you very much for that. So I really would love to start at the top for our listeners here with you, Roselin. If you could take us back to the beginning, what specific problem in the innovation landscape really inspired you to start RRM Inventive Solutions Hub?
Yes, I'm a chemist by training. I've been working on innovation for many years after getting my PhD. And what really inspired, so I'm working on my own is something that I've been thinking for a long time, but what really inspired me to start my consulting business was my last corporate position. So I was working in a startup environment and the internal consultant. So every time there was an issue or something that needed to be resolved or something new that needed to be explored, I was pulled into doing that kind of work, even if it was completely outside of my quote unquote area of expertise. So I had to very quickly figure out and find solutions for those issues. So it's oh no, I kind of becoming this consultant or person that solves all sorts of technical scientific issues. So I was okay, maybe that could be something that I can go towards. Also, there is a huge growth in entrepreneurship where both scientists and non-scientists are launching their own ventures and trying to create products and bring ideas to the market. And sometimes they may or may not have that highly technical expertise, especially at the beginning of their work. So I saw that there's a clear gap in the market for on-demand expert scientific support to help accelerate just getting things in product development go a lot faster, solve those problems so things can move forward. So that's how I say there's a need. So that can be the person that can come in and help these small businesses, entrepreneurs, solve the issues without having to hire full-time experts to work in things that may not be issues long-term.
I love it. I love that. So, Roselyn, what you're doing is very niche, right? So, for our
Exactly.
listeners to understand, can you please walk us through how you're really generating revenue today with the company? As far as your core offer, what are your core offerings here? How is it structured for your clients? I know that you like to work with small businesses and entrepreneurs, but what is that offer there?
So my business is generating revenue through working directly with clients, focus on, like I mentioned, scientific, technical challenges and come in and solve them. So those issues could be a new formulation that they're trying to create for a cosmetic or a pharmaceutical product, even how to select the right ingredients to go into that formulation, how to test it. So many times when you're doing new innovations, like how to design a test method, and then supporting along the way, even with intellectual property. You mentioned I have many patents, I have an inventory, many patents throughout my career. So I worked on retainer packages. So I have usually my business structure, I have 3 different retainer packages, but they're tailored depending on the scope of the project or the issue that we're going to be solving, the complexity, and how long that engagement is going to be for. Since I'm starting, my business is fairly new. Also, flexibility is very important. So I try to meet my clients where they are. If they're very early stages, there's certain ways that we can work together, and then we decide if it's going to be something that is going to be a short-term engagement or something that is going to be an ongoing strategy that I'll be supporting them along the way. So this kind of flexibility and retainer-based approach allow me to then have that very strong relationship with my clients that then allow me to then get revenue from that strong relationship, because then they can keep coming back even with additional needs that they have that may they didn't know that I could help them with, but along the way we've just formed that relationship, like, oh yeah, you solved this one issue very well, so now you can help me with this other one.
Absolutely. So with that, a couple questions that I have for you on that side, just to really get a bit more of an understanding, because again, what you're doing is so niche, just incredible overall. So how are you thinking about the idea of scaling the business, right? It sounds like you're a solopreneur right now, and this takes a lot of time for each of these offerings that you have, and you have to be the one that's in seat. So how are you approaching the idea of scaling RRM Inventive Solutions Hub and taking it to that next level with these offers that you have right now?
Yeah, so actually, I'm currently intentionally not rushing to scale the business, right? Very early, I'm focusing on building a very strong foundation for my consulting business. So the relationships that I'm building with my clients and also expanding my network, I'm trying to create these deep relationships so then I can deliver high quality results rather than quantity, quality. And so then that will allow me to have sustainable growth over time, because they're going to get trust from my clients, build that reputation that I am the go-to scientist to solve their technical issues, and then make meaningful impact. Because although this is my business, I take a lot of pride on helping other businesses take their ideas into the market. So I'm investing time in resources in doing things right at a kind of like smaller scale. However, I do think that there's potential to scale and grow in the future. So as I continue to get additional clients, more clients, at some point I envision that I will not be able to do that all on my own, because right now I'm a one-person business. So I envisioned then growing into having additional consultants join my business. I've also been working on building a network of other consultants that have expertise in other areas but that are related to what I do, so I can have those on queue to recommend to my clients. So if you need something that is very strong, niche, regulatory driven project, I have a person that I can recommend you can go to, because that's not my area of expertise.
Love it. I absolutely love that. So solopreneur right now, Roselin, doing everything on your own. I know there's so many different hats that you have to wear with that. Talk to us what's working best for you on the acquisition side. How are you acquiring new clients in this space, in this field, especially with what you're bringing to the table? What channels are working best and most effective for you on that side?
So I'm currently acquiring customers primarily through word of mouth. So referrals from people in my network, that ex-coworkers, people that I work with, cross paths at some point. Then that's why those relationships have helped me build momentum in my business. I'm also very active in networking events. So I'm based in New York City, so mainly in that area, but my business is pretty much a virtual business. So I have clients around the United States. I'm also open for international business as well. And LinkedIn has also been a very effective way of raising visibility, generating interest in my business. I'm very active in the platform. I post about what I do, what I can do, some experiences in the past. Potential clients I have one client that randomly just found me through LinkedIn. So that was like, it's been pretty effective. So I use it as like my go-to marketing, to just post and talk about what my business is about, but also some of my past experiences. So as an example of what I can do to solve issues for potential clients.
I absolutely love that. So are you now, as you're thinking about the idea of, okay, bringing more clients on, growing, bringing on those consultants to help you, are you thinking about now putting a system in place to have more predictability in those leads, maybe running some ads or having more of a social media presence, continuing to push out? Is that where your mind is now, to have that predictable lead generation system in place?
Exactly. So that's what I like the next step as I grow. Like visibility is very important. Like I I working towards people knowing what I do. And like I said, word of mouth has been so effective. So if a lot more people, even if it's not my target client or like the person that is going to hire me, but they may know someone and might be able to recommend me. So that's what I'm working towards right now, is just brand awareness and visibility through like different channels.
I love it. I love it. So right now, as far as like a bottleneck or a couple bottlenecks goes, it's obviously that you're by yourself, right? So you're a big bottleneck because you have to do all of the work on your own and working towards continuing to grow to get more team members on your side. And then on that lead side is having more predictability, building the brand awareness. So these are some bottlenecks that you're looking to break through now for that growth and that scale. Am I on the right track there?
Exactly, like lead generation, having a steady pipeline of
Yes.
clients that I can choose from, like which align better with my expertise and also what I believe in as well. Like the projects that excite me, because I love learning. So a lot of the projects that I work on is like things that also allow, it's not just me delivering on some things, allow me to learn and keep that learning process going. So that's like the main thing, like a brand awareness and lead generation and having like a steady flow of potential clients.
Love it. I absolutely love that. And clear as day with what you're doing and what you're bringing to the table, Roselin, that you're going to absolutely achieve that. So just incredible to have you on the show, walking us through that and how your mind is really operating through getting to that point. So paint us the picture. With that, obviously going through everything there, what does the rest of this year look like for you right now, Roselin? What are you laser focused on, whether you have revenue targets, performance goals, impact goals? I know that a couple of the things that we just touched on are going to be things you're working on through the rest of this year, but really paint us that picture. How does it look in your mind?
So my top priority is brand awareness, expanding my professional network, and then converting warm leads into actual clients and signing contracts. Then with that, then start refining sort of my package offerings, my retainer offers, depending on the clients that I start to engage with, or just to make it easier for them to engage with me as a consultant. More customization, and that will lead me to increase my revenue. So my goal is I work in corporate until earlier this year. So my revenue goal is to match or exceed my previous corporate salary. And that would continue to allow like growing my business. But also as important as the financial targets for me is flexibility and autonomy. That's part of why I started my business in the first place, like having not only like the monetary revenue, but also flexibility of time, not having to be on site in a place every single day, 8 hours a day or more than that, or dictate the decisions on how I use my time be dictated by my manager or my boss or anyone in the management leadership of a company. So that those two things are the ones that I really want to balance, is the revenue that I'm going to be having, but also the time flexibility. So I can like work from home, work from remotely when I travel. All of that is part of the package that I build for my like total compensation within my own company.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So with that being said, then, what do you see as the consulting industry for pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, and medical devices? How do you see that evolving in the coming years, especially with your science-backed approach? What are you really doing to position yourself at the forefront of that evolution?
I really think that the like industries that I serve are moving towards having leaner teams. I think that the years of having let's hire as many PhD as we can to do all these things that are probably coming to an end or like slowing down.
Mhm.
And there's a shift towards let's then just bring in highly specialized knowledge for a short period of time. And that has also a lot of financial benefits to a company, right? Having someone that you have to not only pay a salary, whole benefits package. So I think that I've seen like a shift towards that. And I think this one, we're going to continue moving that. So for me to do this and start establishing my company now, when things are just starting, is really putting me in a position to then already be established when things start completely, or like the majority of it come to shift towards that direction. Because when that happens, a lot of people that were in the same position as me before may want to start shifting. And then it's going to be a lot of competition. One is starting a business is not simple, especially as a scientist. I had to learn so much about business stuff. So that part alone is going to take a lot of time. And then the competition for who gets the client. So I think like me starting now when I started to see that transition is the right move so I can get a head start.
Amazing. Absolutely incredible. And as you mentioned, just the being in that position of a founder and you have you're a scientist, right? So going into business now and being a business owner, there's so many new things that are getting thrown at you. And you are in the place where you know you're going to be able to achieve that success because you're really hitting it head on. Just incredible. And hopefully a lot of our listeners are listening to that and saying, hey, this isn't easy. You want to do what you're passionate about. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of steps to get there, but you will get there. So just amazing on that front. And I would love to take us into the lightning round here. It's been, again, a pleasure having you on, really understanding your thought process and your journey so far. So as far as this side goes, what's a tool or a resource that you're using, whether it's a scientific insight or a project management strategy or an AI tool that you're using? What's really been the biggest game changer for RRM this far?
So it's interesting that question because like for me, the one resource that have been super helpful in this whole process have been people. As a scientist stepping into entrepreneurship, like really having a network of mentors, coaches, peers that I can just have conversations and learn from, connect with, and people that have been in that same position that I'm now. Just having those conversations, getting some guidance and helping me bridge the gap between, I'm a scientist and I have all this technical expertise in how to have a business strategy. So from that, pricing, like that's like the kind of the scariest part, right? Having those conversations about pricing, client relationships, and also even like shifting my own mindset. Like, you're a scientist, you're not meant to have your own company, you're meant to do all of that. So shifted that mindset. So people have been the ones that have the main resource that have helped me through the entire process, even like getting clients. Like that been the main tool that helped me build a very strong foundation.
He's absolutely incredible. And then as far as advice, what is the best piece of advice that you have personally ever received, Roselin, about scaling a mission-driven business that drove you to where you are today?
Do it before you're ready. That's like the biggest piece of advice. Because I was like trying to find the perfect moment, be like absolutely ready, have everything in place. And the best piece of just do it before you feel that you're ready, right? You're probably like already ready to go, but you just don't feel it. And then not to try to do everything at once or everything by myself. Ask for help. Do take one step at a time. It's better to take one step and then the other than not taking any steps at all.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. And then last, certainly not least here, Roselin, what is the piece of advice that you can offer to our listeners tuning in right now? Just heard your incredible journey. And I know many people are going to be following your journey moving forward after hearing you. What can you leave them with before we wrap up the show today?
I would say trust your expertise. If you have identified a problem and you think that you can solve it, just go for it. If just having that thought, you're ahead of the game. Start small, stay consistent, and don't listen to people that don't have the strength to do what you're trying to do, tell you that you can't. And also don't be afraid to ask for help, right? There's plenty of people that want out there to help you. They pay resources that you can use. Don't feel like you have to do it all on your own. Just trust yourself that you can do it. And there's no failure, there's only learnings.
I love it. I absolutely love that. With that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up another inspiring episode of Founders Future. Roselin, and I really can't thank you enough coming on the show, sharing your incredible journey and your insights. And as I mentioned, clear as day, just so intelligent and driven and passionate about what you're doing. Truly, it was an honor and a pleasure to have you on the show. And I can't wait to see the heights that you take this business to. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, which I know so many of you have, don't forget to subscribe to Founders Future wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And also, don't forget to check out RRM Inventive Solutions Hub at rrminventivesolutionsHub.com to learn more about their consulting services. And follow Roselin on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Roselin Rosario-Meléndez. For more resources and insights, you can visit us here at closers.io, where we are dedicated to helping businesses accelerate their growth through trained appointment setters and world-class marketing systems. Until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.